You know, it's so wild because I went into this movie thinking, ugh, there's gonna be one of those cringe-ass remakes of a game, you know, like they always do. But they're hitting the mark on these game remakes these times. Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. So, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves basically is just kind of this guy, he's a charming bandit, and he kind of gets like his own, if you know what D&D is, you kind of have a party of like, you know, a sorcerer, a warrior, and like he's basically the bard, and like all these people together, and they were going around stealing from people, but not really like hurting anyone. They were kind of just being like, you know, good thieves. So eventually they kind of just like keep going, and then they kind of meet to the wrong people. They go a little bit too far, and they get into a little bit more trouble than they kind of expect. Now, honestly, like I had said before, I didn't really expect much going into this movie. I was just going in. I was like, might as well, honestly. You know what? It could be good. It could be bad. It was good. Ooh.
Not bad. Not bad.
Ooh. I'm so surprised. There was some leaks that people were complaining that, like, maybe, you know, it was wokeified by, like, certain aspects. And it's interesting because I read the letters that the director showed, and while it kind of gives the impression that maybe they were trying to do PR stunts to hide it, they were actually being genuine. Like, when you read it, when they were trying to, like, they said, oh, it'd be just funnier if, like, they kind of demasculated the men a little bit. Yes! It wasn't, they didn't, to me, honestly, they didn't even feel that demasculated, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they still had a lot of chances to be worthy and be, like, powerful and strong. So it didn't really feel like, it just was funny when it was. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't feel like, oh, you're trying to make the women the strong and then the men the weak. No, it just fit the characters. Like, it's hard to explain without spoiling, but I promise, it's done pretty well. So, like, overall, if we go through the plot, like, say the characters. Honestly, I love all the characters almost. There's not a character that I feel like is okay, there's one character that's kind of weak. I think his daughter, the main character's daughter, is a bit weak. They don't give her a lot of screen time. She's kind of just a placeholder character. Sure, it's something that he's trying to preserve and save, and it's actually one of the goals of the quest, but it just feels like she doesn't get the screen time. She doesn't get the development to be impactful as a character. The other characters? Wow. Damn. Like, wow. I can't even describe. Like, Holga is so funny.
Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
You don't even understand how you have to watch to even understand. Holga is so funny. And honestly, Edgin, which I didn't realize this because if you don't play D&D, I've played it maybe like once or twice. You don't need to know how to play D&D or have know even what it is to enjoy this movie. But of course, there's like subtle things that can help. Like Edgin, the party leader, which they barely even say his name, so I'm like surprised I even remember it, is like the bard. And the bard is always like kind of like the weakest character, like a funny character, like kind of the troll character in D&D usually. Sometimes they have like one ability that's just like really strong, but the rest of their kit is just pretty bad. And if you knew that, you can kind of see the funny thing and how the party is formed and how they kind of get some people. And the other thing that I think is really good about how it connects to D&D is that honestly, anything can happen. And the reason anything can happen is because in D&D, the Dungeon Master kind of creates their own world. I don't want to spoil it, but there's just some moments that are so funny. Because it's literally just like, what if we did this? What if we just did this? Just do it. And it hits so well. Like, it was hilarious, some scenes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, not all the scenes hit well. Like, I would say 20% of the jokes sucked. And some of them were cringe, but I think 80% of the jokes really hit well. And honestly, that's fine. It's not a comedy movie. Like, it is a bit of a comedy movie. It's like a half comedy movie. Like, if 80% of the jokes are hitting, honestly, I'll take it. Like, sure, you like roll your eyes at some of them, but like, that's just 20%. 80% of the time, it's pretty good. And sometimes I was laughing so much. It is so good.
Were you killed now?
Yes.
Great. Follow-up question, right?
Yes.
No, that wasn't for you. Did that count as a question?
Yes.
Now, there's another thing about this movie that kind of really pieces it together. Yes, it's a funny movie. Yes, it's goofy. Yes, it's goofy AF. It's goofy AF. But it still has, like, the serious attributes to it that I just feel that, like, kind of pull it together. Like, I feel like the villain is very powerful. Like, she presents in a way that is just, it's just so good. It feels like a serious, like, medieval movie when the way she presents, and they don't make it like a joke. You still kind of feel the intensity and power of the villain, even though it's like very hidden in like comedic effect. Like even the battle scenes fighting her is comedic. It's just done well. Like doing a balance of the seriousness and the comedy is just done in an inexplicable way. Of course, they have misses. Of course, there's parts that are just like, they didn't really hit. And that's why it's not probably rated higher when I give you the rating. But honestly, it's like a light 8. Like, I was really worried that it was overrated because I was seeing 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, nah, there's no way. Honestly, light 8. So, if you want to see more movie reviews and TV show analysis, be sure to subscribe. And so yeah, leave a comment below if you just tell me about how you think about the comedy. You know the scene. If you watch the movie, you know the scene that's gonna make you laugh. Please laugh with me in the comments about it, please, because I want to say it so badly now, but I just can't. If this isn't your type of movie, you know, you're not into the comedic medieval stuff, then you want something more powerful, more serious, more just like puts you in your feels, then check out the review of The Whale that I made, because The Whale is should have been an Oscar nominee for Best Picture, won Best Actor. The Whale is a very strong movie that I think you probably like if you're not into this sort of movie, or if you just want to, even if you're into this sort of movie, you just want something else to watch. I think that's a good shift. Check out my video on The Whale, and I'll see you in the next one.